Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. This is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. For everyone that's new, it's an off-the-cuff video. What that means is I record and upload. There is no fancy editing skills. You won't see my intro symbol at the beginning or anything like that. I do have a transition button, so if I get disturbed or something happens, I can just stop filming and carry on. The weekly Wednesdays are essentially a Q&A. You guys ask me questions and I answer them. They're essentially 99% model focused and it's 99% GW stuff, of which is 99% 40k stuff. There is terrain questions from time to time, some information about myself and what's going on around the workshop. There was a weekly vote where I show you a host of models and you vote on what's to be painted for next Monday's painting video. Now, Monday just gone, the model that was painted up was this amazing model, the Void Dragon, Catan Shard of the Void Dragon. If you haven't seen that video yet, guys, go and check it out because it's fantastic. The problem I had with that is Monday there was no internet. I don't know why. There was just no internet, no on the phone or the laptop or the computer, nothing. There was still power, so it wasn't that. So it was something to do with the line, maybe they're updating the line or something, I don't know. And then Tuesday I was back in work, so actually that video got uploaded Tuesday afternoon, but even when I started uploading it yesterday, it took me like 2 hours to upload it. And I'm like, it's only a half-hour video. What's going on here? It eventually uploaded, so thankfully. But I just apologise to everyone that sits there waiting for the Monday painting video. It will come up Tuesday just because of the internet problems. Now I have some questions to answer. I have the 2 tyranid models that I've already painted up, but just to spruce up a little bit, so it's a little bit of a practical visual thing, and then we've got a vote today. So let's get on to some of these questions. You have a nice big Necron army. What made you like Necrons, and how many points do you have? When Necrons first come out, I didn't like them. All the lead models, and I didn't like them. They were just an army that was there, yeah, okay. And when 9th edition came out and I got Indominus box, the sheer number of Necron models in that box, those of you who got the Indominus box will know, how many models in 12. It's Necron Warriors, Scorpion Destroyers, Royal Cult, which includes Captain Reanimator and all the other boys. There was, what's in there? There was a few more bits and pieces in there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know there was loads in there. And I started putting them together. Like, I wasn't really interested, but I had them, so I put them together. And I put them together, and I actually quite like these guys. I started playing next week, and I had a huge amount of force. I think it was like 1,000 points or 1,500 points. The Imperial magazine came into it as well, which is basically everything that was in the Indominus box is in it for Necrons was in it as well, plus more. So I got to a point where now I think I've got around 3,000 points of Necrons, thereabouts. May not be a legal army, but it's something around that sort of points value. And I just really like how easy the affinity to build. When I say they're easy to build, they're not easy to build. Some of them are absolutely delicious to build. Some of them are just a pain in the ass. But they are pretty straightforward, just very fiddly. And to paint them, it's just, for me, it's a joy. I absolutely love it. I love trying to paint them with using all different metallics. If you see me paint the heavy low cost destroyer, which I've actually got another one in the Imperial magazine to build, but you see me paint that, I actually then experimented using metallic paints with white scales to make highlights. So I do enjoy them, and the raw temperature is fantastic. A little bit overpowering, I think, in certain aspects, but they are very good. I like them. I think they fit the lore perfectly. Let's hope they don't nerf them when the codex drops in winter, which is meant to be Space Marines Tyranids. Then in winter time, it's going to be Necrons and Admech, I believe. Anyway, are you ever going to get the time to paint everything you have? Yes. The biggest hurdle for me at the moment isn't so much painting it. The biggest hurdle is getting through this pile. Now, a lot of these things here, this side you see here, and this bit in the middle here, is all stuff for me to build off camera. The rest of it is to build on camera. But that's the biggest hurdle for me at the moment, is getting through the stuff to build on camera, because it's just having the time to do that. Once it's built, I've got myself into a routine of graveling models, and then there's a heap of models to spray down. So every day, that's what I'm doing. So eventually, I'll get to a point where there's nothing to gravel, but there's models to spray. So I'll spray those down. Then the next day there'll be models to gravel, but there's nothing to spray. And that's the position I want to be in, you know, with the models that I built, because that puts me in a good position for these guys. Because as I'm building them, then they're being gravelled. I'm not gravelling models. I spend the whole day doing it because there's loads to do. But once all this is built behind me, or this is under control, not built, just under control, then I'll get more painting videos going, and more painting videos on the go, because I'm really enjoying painting. And you know, I hope you guys are enjoying what I'm doing with different things. I really enjoyed the Monday painting video when you guys vote on something, because it's a total challenge for me to. It's not my choice. I didn't paint this, so I didn't paint it. It's a real challenge for me to get on with that. Hope that answers your question. What do you think about GW axing some of the firstborn Space Marines? See, this is a difficult one, because they've axed Space Marine Scouts. I have those, a box of those here. But I don't think they're going to get rid of them totally. I think they've axed them for the minute because they're going to resculpt them and make them better, make the model look absolutely, you know, much better. And probably the other thing you got to realise as well is, when let's say the Space Marine attack bike, because that's been axed as well. I have the lead one. Any reviews that have the plastic one or the flying cast one, I don't know which way it comes now, but let's just say it comes in plastic. When they changed it to plastic, from the lead to plastic, I actually think half it's plastic and half it's lead. When they changed it to all plastic, the machine they used to make it was X, Y, and Z. Since then till now, their techniques for making the model is better. They can make more detailed models, but it's improved to the point of where they're not wasting as much materials. So with that sort of idea going on, if they've got an old sculpt that's using, say, just to say 2 litres of liquid plastic, it doesn't use that, but let's just say, for example, but the new machine, to make the same thing, or to make something that's better, to replace that, is using 1 litre of liquid plastic. They're going to stop making the old one and start making the new one, because they're saving, not only are they saving materials, people are going to actually start buying that new model when it comes out. So even if it's a spike in sales, you know, 10,000 units sold in the first month, and then over the next year or 2 years, they're selling another 20, 30,000 units, you know, that kind of way. So that's what I think. I think a lot of them, what they've axed, will come back, just in a different form. Some of I think they've axed the librarian, actually, which I think they, librarians are librarians. Like I said before on this channel many times, when they bring out a librarian, a chaplain, or something like that, buy the model. Even though I've got 10 librarians that buy the model, because eventually they'll get rid of that one and do a resculpt to it. But if you're playing a big game, you've got different, you know, librarians. Now, speaking of librarians, on the app, the Space Marine librarians, when they joined Unique, used to give them a 4+ for no pain, and a 4+, was it 4+ invulnerable save against psychic attack, something like that. They've changed that rule now, so it's a 4+ invulnerable save against psychic attacks, and it's a 4+ feel no pain against mortal wounds. I think it's changed to, which is a pain, because they were quite handy in a unit of Space Marines, 10-man tactical squad in a Rhino. After they go drop out, and they just become a nuisance wherever they are. But anyway, that's that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring you down, and we'll just do a little spruce up with these two guys. The Swarm Lord, he needs a little spruce up. The reason he needs a spruce up, there's a Screamer Killer, there's a Swarm Lord. Now, it still looks good, but to me, this one looks a hell of a lot better. So I need to do stuff on this guy to make him not make him like perfect, but just make him a little bit more. So I'm going to bring the camera down and settle that up, and I'm going to come back to you again, guys. So we've got the Swarm Lord and the Lictor. We'll start with the Lictor. I need to do something to this guy to make him spruce him up a little bit more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of Screaming Skull, and I'm going to just run it down his bone panels, his chest. This is really going to make that stand out even more. I'm going to run it across his tentacles. You can see that half hasn't been done. That half has been done. There's just one colour, 2 steps so far. Just running a little bit of a thin dry brush amount. I'm not dry brushing yet. I'm just running a very thin amount of it over there. Let's give a little bit over his cheekbones as well, just to find that a little bit more. Already, see this side needs a little bit more. That side looks pretty good. I'm just going to just make a little bit more there. Let's get his face a little bit. So that one colour and 2 different spots actually really just push that model out a bit more. So I'm going to do the same thing on this guy now, except he has it all across the tail here. And now I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm going to go off camera and do that just to let you see me do that. So I ended up doing a sort of dry brush across the whole skin, the Screaming Skull, just to spruce up a little bit. Now I'm going to get some Lothern blue on the wet palette with some white scars, and I'm going to really mix this in, really make this as light as possible. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in, just going to edge highlight the outside of every panel. This is very tedious and very long, so I'm going to do a little bit on camera and do the rest. Get top of these vents as well. That's what it looks like there. That's what it looks like outside. So I'm going to go off and do that on both models. Right, so I'm very pleased with the blade leg to come out. Just a little bit of, just a few little some colours. I mean, this colour base of the looks amazing. I think the dry brush just Screaming Skull on the skin and the tentacles, that just really just push it beyond where it was, which is, I'm happy with that. There's anything with this guy now is his blades. So I've got some corn red on the palette, I've got some white scars, and I'm going to mix the two to give me like a really pinky colour, type of colour. And I'm going to come in, I'm going to edge highlight see the colour difference. It's not that sharp, but it's very just subtle but nice. And there's a little raised area along here. So I'm going to add some more white actually. I want it really bright. Really bright. Let's come in and try this again. Someone's going to ask me, why don't you just use like a pink then if you want to do like that? Because these are two layer paint, or the ones are base paint, one's a layer paint, I'm mixing together. So when it dries a certain way. I know how these two colours dry once they've been applied. So another colour I may not be confident with how it dries. I'm going to go off camera and do all the bone swords, and then that should be him done. Right, so they're done. Just a little spruce up makes them look so much better. I like this guy as well. Very pleased with. I'm 9% sold on the swords, but I think they're still a little bit wet. We'll do it down a little bit. But in general, that's fantastic. I wouldn't do that effect on bone swords for, you know, Tyranid warriors and all that sort of stuff, but this is a small lord, so it's like, you know, named character. So there's a nice little spruce up part of the video. So now I'm going to bring you down for the vote. Right, so here we have the car from Marvel Crisis Protocol. There's two of them. People are going to say, well, how do I see you paint a car? This is a challenging paint. You think it's simple, but it's not. Sort of long, big, flat panels. And anyway, we have the Desolation Marines. We have a Zone Frup. We have the Captain from the Indominus box. And we have the Bladeguard Ancient from the Indominus box. The last two models from the Indominus box, that's 9th edition's 40k, two painted. We have Von Ryan's Leapers. We have the Darker Posite, whatever it's called. We have the Hive Tyrant. We have the Venom Crawler, which was lost the dice roll on, you know, Monday's painting video. We have 8-bound. We have Spider-Man from the Marvel Crisis Protocol box. We have Asmodee. He's a chaplain. We have Genocidas. We have a unit of Chaos Legionaries. We have the Howling Banshees. We have the Biologist from the Leviathan box. We have the Lionel Johnson. We have the Skaven Plague Priest special character. I've left this in there because it's not far from being done. And that's the Fire Strike team, sorry. And we have the Avatar of Kahane. There is also a wild card. Now, what the wild card is, you'll find out if it wins the vote. Also, one of you guys have actually said to me about, well, a few of you said to me, but one quite recently, there should be a creator's choice, which is actually a good idea. Now, what is creator's choice? What do you mean by that? If the vote is for the creator's choice, then it's whatever model I pick up and paint. Okay, I make the decision. Which, for me, takes a little bit of fun away from the Monday painting video, because I like to be challenged every week. But at the same time, saying it, even for me to look and pick a model that I want to paint is a challenge on itself, because they all need to be painted. They're all great models. So how do you vote on everything? You chuck come below on this video saying to me, I vote for X, Y, Z. You don't have one vote. You can vote for 4 things. You can vote for 8 things. Doesn't matter. Don't say I vote for everything, because it won't count. But you could say something like, I vote for any of the NIDs, or any of the Chaos Marines, or any of the Space Marine, you know, something like that. And I go, okay. So if you voted for any of the NIDs, and there's loads of other votes come in, and someone else voted for Von Ryan's Leapers, that's one vote for them. Everyone else is on one vote. But because you voted for any of the NIDs, that puts that to 2 votes. Okay? That kind of way. Don't panic if you vote for something and it doesn't win, because everything has to be painted. Going back to the question that I was asked answered earlier on. So you check on below what you want to vote for. You can vote for the wild card, or you can vote for creator's choice, which doesn't make my life easier, makes my life a little bit harder. If you have a question for me, you can chuck it below in the comments below. and I like giving you an answer straight away. And if I think it needs to be addressed to the rest of the group, then I'll do that next week. Or you can go to Unique Wargaming Terrain Facebook page. Now, I don't go in as often as I should, and I should be going in there and posting stuff up because there's some amazing stuff that I've done recently. But there's a message button there. You click on that and message me directly via Messenger. Everyone smash the thumbs up button because it triggers YouTube says we do more and more people. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything, because this is just a weekly Wednesday. So you see the Void Dragon. That was Monday's painting video. Went up Tuesday, but you know, there's Let's Builds, painting videos, battle reports. There's not a battle report. We were meant to have a game today, but it hasn't happened. I can't anyway because the wife has the Noggle curse. So she's off for 5 days now. And I'm actually on holiday for 5 days, which is bizarre how things work out. But anyway, hit the buttons for me, guys. Until next time, take it easy.